Well, welcome, happy Monday, surprise, Monday stream. Hey, Abe, welcome, good to see you, man. And you're indeed the first. Well, it's Pentecost in the Netherlands, so I have a day off. And my wife is doing a puzzle run with her mother and her niece. So they're out of the house. So I have time to stream. So yeah, let's see. Let's see about some contracts first, and then maybe switch to freelancer just a bit down the road. Hey, Canadiator, welcome. So if anybody has any contracts for me, yeah, just throw them up in the queue, and I can open the queue, of course. Because I use that now. Queue. Open. There we go. Almost done all the exclusive arcades, just some celeb ones and the one with the most annoying 3 targets. Nice! Yeah, I haven't done the... turn that down a bit, it's blasting in my ears. That is the arcade. Yeah, I've done a few of them, but not all of them, as you can see. Especially this block here. Because they're basically just the elusive targets. The ostentatious kid art. Oh, that's the... they banned him. Yeah, okay, so can't do that anymore. But yeah, I haven't done those yet. But yeah, congratulations, man, if you're done with them. Let's see, I'm working on something for the website that I want to see, but it's not finished yet, so for instance, contract search, where do we want a contract? Let's say we're going to New York. I want to see, we have those different versions, right? And I want 3 targets, and in this guys, I want to have an SMG kill. No, not an explosive, SMG kill. Okay. Search. I had to wipe out like 30 guards in Hitman. Oh. Well, 4, cause 1 is a husband and wife, which I have no idea how the fuck you could do Silent Assassin for. Oh, is that the old dictator on Hitman? Because I do have a video about that. Let's see. Where is my YouTube? Over here. Let's see. Give me a second. Playlists. By the way, my YouTube is over here. Let's see. Elusive targets. Yes. Whoa. Shh. That's not what I wanted to do. They hang out in the restaurant area on the 2nd floor with like 30 cicada. Yeah, I will show you. Husband and wife. I know exactly who you mean. Let's see, where are they? Richard Equensi and Ines Aka, ex-dictator. So I have 4 ways to get them Silent Assassin. So maybe you could use one. I will show you one. Let's see. Window capture. And then, yes. Can I do this?
Good afternoon, 47. Your targets are Richard
skip this
Central African dictator. Welcome to Bangkok, 47. On-site intelligence has confirmed that the target...
So this is how I got them the first time. So they're coming from the outside in. And I'm laying a trail of coins. And there they come, and then I just open the door, and Richard, the man, sees the coins, and they will go in, and he will follow the trail of coins. And I have a tranquilizer gun in my hand, or on, so I will disable. I will trank the 2 guards that are with them.
And we're good to go.
And they're coming in. But that's the risk if you don't wait long. If you get them straight in the door, these 2 guys will come in and will catch you. But these are the only 2 that will follow them. So trank him, trank the other dude. Get the fiber wire out. This was my silent session fiber wire should only run.
Both targets are eliminated, 47. The money has been wired to your account.
So waiting for her to turn around, because she's facing the door. Now we just head on it. And that's just one of the ways I got them. So yeah. But yeah, there is a playlist on my YouTube channel that has all the elusive targets in it. So yeah, go check it out. The 2 of your gears are coins then. Yeah, because you could theoretically do it with less coins. But you'll have to be coy about it. Because, let's see, I can. So I got the coins from the. I smuggled in extra coins, yeah. We know.
47. On site
Let's see. Yeah. So
intelligence.
I grabbed the extra coins here. So I have 2 sets of coins. So I can lay a trail, and at the end of the trail I put a few coins there to keep him busy, so he keeps picking up coins. So so I have time to do all the rest. That's what I do. So I have the trank gun, I have the fiber wire, and I have the coins as default loadout, and I smuggle in extra coins from my suite. But I think you can do it with just the 1 set of coins. But yeah, that's what I did for this one. Close that. Exit. So yeah, that's how I did it. And like I said, there's 3 more ways in my in that clip, or in my video. One is I blow them up. I start where they start, and I run and I throw a propane tank to the little car or tuk-tuk that's there. Not the one you exit with, but there's one that's standing a bit ajar, and that blows them up. So yeah. For the arcade would be a blade instead of the fiber wire. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. If you have to eliminate them with a knife, then you can take a knife. But it's I wanted to do a silent assassin suit only fiber wire run, and yeah, I figured out a way. So yeah. So there's no run that has 3 targets in New York with an SMG in it. Okay. So what if I do this? Go search. Then it works. Okay. Oh, it already did one. So I'm just picking one at random. For some reason, who's this? Let's see. Briefing. Dot. Oh, it's the main target, Matteo. I'm trying to add something to my random suit stuff, and this is basically what I'm alluring to, but yeah, it's not done yet. Hobby knife, thrown weapon. Okay. I think I can find a hobby knife on the map, but I think I have one. There is. I don't know. Can't remember where he starts though. I think he starts in the basement, but I'm not sure. It's any disguise. So let's see. Where can we start? This deposits. Let's start over here. And maybe take a durian or something. I don't know. Dartmoor, 5 targets, poison only. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? How the hell am I supposed to do that? There's no... Is there poison on Dartmoor? I thought Matteo would start over here. Oh, he's going upstairs already.
Anybody there? Oh, that doesn't feel good. Aren't you?
She's going sick from all the way over there?
Yours going on.
Wow. Okay, so the range on that is larger than I thought. Eventually I gave up most on silent assassin suit only. It was like, I need to kill the target and get out and forget my... Yeah, I totally understand, man. That is... Yeah.
I really don't understand that.
God damn it. These freaking cameras, man. Hey, dude. Hi, it's me.
I think I nailed it. Yeah, I mean, I was...
She needs to be a target someday. Hi, it's me. I've heard that line so many times. It's not even funny anymore. Okay, where are you going? Oh. Oh. Oh, he's anything, right? Okay, let's hobby knife you too. Oh.
Let me.
There we go. You can't take his outfit, right? No, you can't. Yoink yoink. Always handy to get the access card. Let's see, who are you? Who are you?
Oh, have we talked to everyone?
No, I think I saw him going to...
Like every time I was on the I was on pair on the top floor, I would spend like 50 minutes silent, taking out every guard in the attic, then I was looting guards with a gun and taking a... Yeah. The pool bowl. Can I get you to come in here, sir? Oh, I can. Okay. Cool. Hopefully he won't see that if I... Oh,
Why me?
Hey, Joda, thank you for the subscription, man. 85 months, holy shit.
With the exception of Back to the Future and a couple others, awful year for movies.
85? Yeah, was it that awful? Except Back to the Future? Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember the decade. The 80s in itself were a great source of some awesome movies. I don't... but yeah, Back to the Future, man. That's my favorite movie trilogy of all time, I guess.
They're specifically looking for the file.
Where the fuck are you? Oh, it's you.
I hid the file.
Now you're a man! A man, now you're a man!
How?
There's nothing worse than fading on a live exclusive target. Oh yeah, that's... There was some real junk that year. Well, yeah, I guess there was real junk every year, so... But yeah. What? Uh-huh. He needs to be a thrown hobby knife, so... Let's get it out. Yeah, doing live... That's why I don't do live ETs. Just because... I hate that shit. Ah, I need a key for that, okay. I mean, ETs I always do I just try to explore, especially when it's a new ET. I'm going exploring that shit from top to bottom. And then for my runs, for the different runs, I use Peacock to record them all, so I can do them over and over again. And then when I'm done with it all, I try to pick one and do that as a live ET run. Hopefully not messing it up. It feels like getting kicked right where it hurts the most. It does, yes. I'll have to check out the Dutch cinema next. Yeah, Dutch cinema is not great, man. We have a few good movies. But, yeah. But yeah, like I said, Dutch cinema, we have a few good ones, like Amsterdam is good. We got a horror flick called The Lift. That's the elevator. That's a good one. They're basically all the ones. I haven't seen any recent Dutch movies because they're not my thing normally, because they feel cringe to me normally. We have a horror film about Saint Nicholas. That's not Santa Claus. It's Saint Nicholas, what we call Santa Claus. That's the origin of Saint Nicholas, basically. But they give a nice twist on it. It's pretty nice. Amsterdam, Mrs. Strange. Yeah, that's a good one. And welcome, man. Happy Monday. I find one of the easiest elusive targets is Jimmy Chan on Scale. Secret drown exit, but as a warehouse worker. Yeah, I think I got him. Well, you talk to him, then he follows you to or you make him sick. Oh no, you talk to him. He goes to the toilet, and if you go right in, or if you make sure you're in there before he does, because he locks the door, then you can just kill him and put him in the box or something, whatever. Yeah, that's a simple one. Love Story, Two Lips in Spring, Turks Fruit. Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. It's an old one, but it would be shocking to the Americans because it has full frontal nudity in it, and they're like, oh. Sebastian Sato gets around. Yeah, there's a lot of recurring characters. They're also talking about stuff that happened in, if you look in the order of the maps, there's a lot of characters that talk about stuff that happened in other maps, like on Paris. No, not Paris. Scale. There's a few people that talk about somebody that got killed on other maps, or involving their characters. And on Mendoza, there's some people who are talking about similar stuff. So that's pretty cool. I would say my least favorite elusive one is that one douchebag on Paris and the party outside that just sniped him from the tower. And oh yeah, I just made him sick. That is that the Fixer? No, I can't remember what his name is, but I know exactly which one you mean. But there's like I said, I have. If you want to see how I did it, there's a playlist of all the elusive targets on my channel. So yeah, if you want to check that out, there's the link. I tried to figure out for all elusive targets at least one route. There's one on Hokkaido. That's the two scientists that need to be killed with the virus, and there's basically no room for creativity because you have to poke them with the virus. And yeah, I didn't like that because you have to get the virus from the morgue area and then go up to them and stab them, get them apart and stab them with the virus, and that's it. There's no I can kill him by falling, or I can kill him by exploding them, or I can kill him by whatever. It means no, it has to be this way. So that they pulled out the creativity from that one. So that one I didn't like. He does music or something. Yeah, like I said, I know which target you mean. I just don't know the name. You never speedrun contracts unless it's a time limit one, but I do speed up to beat the friend score. Yeah, that seems on point. If I do a contract and I see him like 2 or 3 seconds behind or something, or on a longer contract like 10 seconds, I'll say, oh, I think I can beat that score, but I'm not a speedrunner per se, no. Were you doing them via arcade or when they come up or something? I think they only were in arcade mode once. All the elusive targets that are in the arcade have been live at some point in time. There are some elusive targets that just don't come back for some reason. Like if you go to year 1, let's see. There's some from Hitman 2 that are not in here, I think. Let's see. Bad Boy has been back, yes. The Ascensionist, that was also an annoying one. I have one of the runs that are in my... It's just waiting upstairs until she comes up. I was on holiday for these two, I think. Oh, yeah, these two, the Surgeons. These are annoying because you have to... yeah, see? Use the hemorrhagic virus. And if you want to get 5-star kills, you have to use this. So that's annoying. I haven't seen him. Yeah, well, he has been back. Well, I just showed you the ex-dictator ones. And then you have the food critic again. He's also annoying because he doesn't move. They have to make him move. Gunrunner. Serial killer. Yeah, that was an easy one. Yeah, I don't see any. There are elusive targets I can see if I go through Peacock that are not in here, but they're probably from Hitman 1 or 2, and they didn't move them over to this one. But yeah, game modes. Let's get back to contracts for a few more. If you don't have any contracts, you can reset them, can you? No, you can't. You don't like Murillo and Santa Fortuna because of random spawn? Yeah, he has 3 spawns as far as I know. I don't know the third one, but one is in the building right next to the that's very close to the bus stop. Then he also spawns in where in Freelancer there is usually the gun dealer. That's that little hut that overlooks the fishing village, and I don't know the third spawn off the top of my head. But I got him with a glitch that has now been fixed. When he spawns in that little house that's in the house that's next to the bus stop, if you chuck in an emetic, he would get sick, and because he was in a chair, that was the bug, and he would stand up and turn around, he would teleport to the roof. So I got him on the roof. So I got that one in like 27 seconds or something. For the serial killer in Wimbledon, is there a way to stop his route? I don't know. I lured him into the bathroom with a coin, because if you run to the bathroom of the house where the party is, and you throw a coin on the floor when you get in, that's just the part of his route where he's just outside that window. He will come in, and then you get him there. So yeah, I keep resetting, and I shoot the tank for when he smokes. A little shack by the stage, and then the third is by the little village one. Got busted because the camera was being filmed and counted as a security camera. Yeah. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's several ways, but most of them have routes, and I think you can talk to him and lure him somewhere, but I'm not. It's been too long since I did that one. You were securing him from the bathroom. Oh, same idea. So let's see. I will check in Manga's thing. Let's do a contract because I'm yapping all the time. And I don't know if you're here for that, but yeah. Sharp Dressed Man by Iffy. Let's pick that one. Sounds nice. Contract, look it up. Sharp Dressed Man. Okay. Oh, that's the... oh boy. Okay. Clean shirt, new shoes. Yeah, let's just play and see where this goes. This from a badge they made for manga that includes all same looking guys, same looking NPCs from the games, because on most maps they're recycling a lot of these a lot of these NPCs, and they kind of look alike, or they are exact copies of each other. So, oh, this one. Okay.
Mr. Yates, it's Aaron, sir.
Do I have? Oh, I have.
The firm. I came as quickly as I could. Yes, sir. I have the file. Sorry it took so long, but I've had to access.
Okay.
Hey, someone there?
Get you in here.
Typical.
Okay, gotcha.
Aaron, sir.
Yeah, but there's several ways to get most of the ETs.
Bienvenidos to Viñeda Yates, señor. Gracias, señor. Enjoy
For the Jean-Claude Van Damme ET, I just posted one run because there's like 12 copies you need to kill from him. I can't remember exactly. There's a whole ton of copies you need to do, and yeah, to make a video I didn't feel it was necessary to go through all the different ways you can kill him, so I just created one. There was a few times when I was doing the arcade where I had red guns, but it wasn't spotted, so nobody's found it, and maybe it was glitching. Yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes maybe you... yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody saw you do something illegal, but yeah. Yeah, you said he wasn't spotted, but yeah. Oh, how the hell am I gonna get him? Probably have to make you sick, unless he goes to move. Let's go check out the other one over here. Ah,
Goldberg and Partners calling for beer at St. Martin, please. Thank you.
Will he come in?
This is St. Martin. Just calling to check on those accounts we discussed. Correct? Yeah, Panama, Dominica, and Costa Rica. And my instructions were followed to the letter? Splendid. I shall inform Mr. Yates.
You've got to be kidding me.
Got him.
Your guess is as good as mine. Yates mystery.
Okay, so that's two. But holy hell, he's all the way over there. Oh, that's the road. So we gotta figure out a way to get this Joker over here. How the hell do I get him away? I could possibly blow him up with this, but then I need to get rid of him. And this is a proximity taser, so if I drop this, he will die, so... And I can't give him my gun. What about...
Yeah, I'm checking out some weird noise. We'll get back to you, okay?
Checking on some weird noise. Come on over here.
Oh, that's cold. I like you more over
Where's your gun? Over here. Okay.
Hey, hey. Excuse me, sir?
Ah, fuck. Bugger. So I don't need this. I'm gonna take a seeker. I'm just gonna play it safe. Get this, and then I'm gonna put in a seeker. Where are you? Over here. I was looking at the nameplates on the tables. A lot of repeats. Yeah, several Jane Does. Wonder if that was intentional, since there are a lot of criminals that did it. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, there's also, of course, like you see in this map, there's a ton of NPCs. Yeah, and they need to fill out, and there's only so many variants you can do within a reasonable amount of time to fill them out, and they spread them out usually, so it doesn't really stand out. But yeah.
Mr. Yates, it's Aaron, sir, from the firm. I came as quickly as I could.
Who is breaking the stuff?
Who's breaking stuff?
Esta mierda keeps happening.
Mr. Yates, it's
Okay.
Aaron, sir, from the firm. I came as quickly as I could.
That's one. But yeah, the Jane Doe versions may be intentional indeed, because they want to be anonymous.
Gracias, señor. Enjoy the party.
Enjoy the party. Alright, so what were we doing? Oh yeah, that one. I'm gonna do him later, because that involves an explosion I don't want to happen just yet. So let's go for him first. Getting him from above seemed to work, so let's try that again. Careful of this dude.
What was that noise? Mrs. St. Martin, just calling to check on those accounts we discussed. Correct? Yeah, Panama, Dominica, and Costa Rica. And my instructions were followed to the letter.
Got him. Nice. He won't be spooked by the explosion, so let's... what I could do... I could either seeker him... Oh, wait. Maybe I can seeker him. Could maybe use a durian. But yeah. From here. If I do it from here... Who saw that? Oh, he saw that. Fuck. Oh, and that freaking boxer guy, Sully in Chongqing, came up in arcades so many times. Yeah, the boxer guy. Yeah. Just chuck a taser in the puddle and you should be fine. So instead of this, maybe I'll just take... then I don't have to shoot him and nobody goes, oh, what the hell? And then we'll be fine. Oh, do I have something to...
He's been living alone here for what, 6 years?
Been living alone here for what, like 6 years?
Mr. Yates, it's Aaron, sir, from...
What was that?
Yeah, what was that?
Hello?
Go check.
Someone there? Hello?
Here we go.
Mr. Yates, it's Aaron.
Except the one where you had to melee or kill or explode him. Oh yeah, it's arcade because you then have to do different kill methods. Right.
Viñeda Yates, señor. May I see your invitation, please?
Well, you could, if you have to
Gracias,
explode him,
Enjoy
you
the
can
party.
go up the building. There's a propane tank right there.
Thank God it's fine.
Yeah, that can be a puzzle. That's why I like this game, man. It's I don't see it as a shooter or whatever. I see this as a puzzle game because, yeah, to me that basically is because you're trying to figure out the puzzle on how to kill somebody.
Tell me you didn't.
Shouldn't leave
Tell
that
me you
here,
didn't
sir.
forget the
Oh,
asado.
Okay. I didn't forget the asado torch, Miguel.
See, the others aren't real NPCs. They don't get sick. So let's see where he goes. Oh, he goes. Oh, brother.
Why do you have
Will you please stop that?
He goes over here.
what are we
Oh, but if he pukes next to the... yeah, this will work out. Oh, he doesn't. Mm. If I push him, who will see that?
just find another torch. Don't care how.
Oh, she will. Oh, he starts shooting immediately. Oh, brother. Oh, but he passes through here. Passes by here. Probably can do that. Okay. I have to make him sick, make my way over here, and then by the time he passes by, I need to shoot that thing. Sneak into arcade, take out two inside, inside out. Yeah. I've noticed that about the arcades. They sometimes they just repeat what you've already done, and they say, "Oh, you gotta be silent assassin or something." Yeah, that's what I'm always
I
doing.
came as quickly as...
Hey, you break it, you buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna break you, and I'm gonna buy you. Thank you very much.
It's Aaron, sir. From the firm.
Okay.
Sush is fine.
No way.
Bienvenidos to Viñeda Yates, senor. May I see your invitation, please?
Invitation. There you
Gracias,
go.
senor. Enjoy the party.
Evening, senor.
Oh, but if I'm gonna do that, I might as well take out the dude over there first, because now there's gonna be a boom. And I don't want the dude over there to freak because there's a boom over here.
Tell me you didn't. Tell me you didn't.
And hopefully the people don't go hiding in the... Don't run into that little circle where I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh, it's her, all right. I'm good with faces.
No? No? What the hell? Ah, there we go. Restricted loadout, going in with literally nothing, not even a camera. Yeah. Yeah, that makes them make the puzzles interesting, right? Otherwise you can just do the same thing 2 or 3 times and then
Correct.
okay,
Yeah,
make you
Panama, Dominica, and
look
Costa
over
Rica.
there.
And my instructions were followed to the letter.
Oh, somebody saw that.
I shall inform Mr. Yates.
Crap. That worked before, now it doesn't work. Brother. Maybe I can ping it off the back of the circle and then that way he will hear it.
Stepping down. He's been living alone here for what, 6 years?
That's the perfect marriage.
What the hell was that noise?
What the hell was that noise?
Mr. Yates? It's Aaron.
Oh.
From the firm.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He fucked up. Yeah. Brother.
He's been living alone here.
Brother, I have another idea though. See, what tends to happen is I use the syringe and I'm pressing the button to put it away, but because I already used it, it's already away, so, and it will take out the gun.
It's Aaron, sir.
So what I'm gonna do is get
I
his
came as quickly as I could.
briefcase. Yoink.
Yes, sir, I have the files. Sorry, it took so long.
I can give that to the guard. And then hopefully I can lure the dude in and make him explode over here.
Bienvenidos to Viñeda Yates, señor. May I see your invitation, please? Gracias, señor. Enjoy the party.
Okay. I'm gonna do him first. I think if it's over here, it's far enough away that he isn't spooked by the explosion. Let's see.
Awful shame what happened. It was the most...
He's a real NPC. He's fucking off. Okay. Look, sir, I have a present for you.
Uh-huh.
That sounded weird. Can you go see?
All right.
You gotta be kidding me, man. Okay.
It's clear. Nothing here. Tell me you did it.
Isn't that yours? Don't forget to take... Uh-oh. What's coming?
He's gonna walk past here, I think, if I remember correctly.
Stop that. You're embarrassing yourself.
What are we supposed to
Got him. Good, he wasn't spooked, that's good. Now, I need you to... Can I ping it off? No, he doesn't hear that. Okay.
Mrs. St. Martin, just calling to check on those accounts we discussed. Correct? Yeah, Panama, Dominica, and Costa Rica. And my instructions were followed to the letter? Splendid. I shall inform Mr. Yates.
Oh, interesante.
Got him.
Your desk is as good.
So now we only need to go over there.
Affirmative. Bagging and tagging.
Yeah, they don't like me. Let's see. Maybe the propane tank from the
Easy now, Victoria.
What?
from the theater. Yeah, let's go grab that.
Got a message from the boss.
And then, because I think the person over there is standing next to another person, but I'm not really sure. They're just talking it up, so I need to get one away from the other. Oh, and there's coins here too, so I can lure them. Okay.
Here to pick up the mantle of my ancestors feels profound.
Our goal here at Viñeda Yates is simple. From our state...
Oh, fuck. Because I shut the heater here, there was a dude that came back that was smoking. Fuck me. I really feel you should be able to stealthily stab someone with a needle without being spotted. Like, come on. Yeah, I get it, but I think that's also a bit overpowered. If you could just do it in a passing. I know what you mean. Like the Russian spies, I think, in the real world had like umbrellas they would poke you with when they pass you by, and it would insert a little pellet with coated with poison. I think that's how they got
I came
the
as quickly as I could. Yes, sir, I have the files. Sorry it took so
one
long,
of the
but
journalists or something in the dissident from Russia was very famous case in the 90s.
May I see your invitation, please? Gracias, señor.
But I think that would be to like run by and just stab him like this. Yeah, that would be way too overpowered. Because then you can just kill somebody in public without having to figure out how to get him alone or something. Get what you're getting at, but that would be just OP. Okay, let's go get over here. Okay. Now, this one. Yeah, she does the magic pixel because she doesn't hear it. So next time I shoot over there, she doesn't freak out.
Just calling to check on those accounts we discussed. Correct. Yeah, Panama,
So you
Dominican,
guys
Costa
look over
Rica.
there.
And my instructions were followed to the letter.
Cool. Now we go down. Excuse me. Coming through. I could go down here.
These majestic plains were my playground. I'm returning
I
here
don't have to
pick
go all
up
the way around
mantle
and
of my
back.
ancestors' fields.
Gotta be careful to not be seen by them.
Our goal here at Vignetta Yates is simple.
Alright, pick up the propane tank. Oh, another thing I could use to as a distraction.
Handpicked with loving care by local
Coins.
experts. We have only one purpose: to make the best wines in Argentina and beyond.
I have to get back up again to our little target over there.
Burnwood was in league with Grey. She's responsible for killing how many of our people?
Looking good today, sir.
Now we can grab the exit over there.
But if he's bold enough to defy Edwards, he'd be a damn fool. But they don't call him cojones for nothing.
They don't call him cojones for nothing.
Let him know something screwy is going on.
Would it be worth it to smuggle a second syringe so I can... No, because he's seen by... Okay, there's one dude looking over here. So if I do this...
Okay.
Yeah.
No one ever taught you any manners.
I have to wait for big boy over there to pass. Okay.
Oh, no. Hi, I think you dropped something?
Oh my gosh, be careful. The ground's super loose here. If we fall, we're going to seem like such idiots. We won't fall. We just need to get the juice and we'll do it. Are you looking at that?
No.
Okay.
You know it will be worth it. Everyone's going to be beyond. Huh?
Is that?
Huh?
We won't fall. We just need to get the peak and we'll do it. Are you looking at that?
Too far away, I guess.
Oh, you're so right. The colors alone and the lighting.
Oh, now he comes back. Oh my god. I need to distract you. Okay, you dude, come over here, please. Dude, this was not for you! Get the fuck out of my face. You're in my face. Back off. Good. Walking like a little bitch.
What?
Fantastic.
Fuck off. These little ladies, man. Okay. Yo.
Huh?
I'm glad he didn't...
More careful, sir. That's a little too close.
Hmm. Nice.
Wonder if I can get him. Oh, he's coming out. Beep beep, motherfucker. Okay. The time is 3. Okay, so maybe if nobody has any contracts, then I think I might jump into freelancer for a bit. Global, let's see. If he 54 seconds. What? How even? Oh my god, okay, well. Because he's a speedrunner. He has his tricks. I'll take my second place. I'm not gonna shave off like 60 seconds, 6 minutes. Oh well, let's go over to freelancer. And I need to turn on the aircon because it's getting hot in here. Okay. Hello? On. Let's put it to 22.
Hello there.
Okay. Hey Schnitzel, welcome. Happy Monday. You just switch over to freelancer unless you have a contract you want me to look at. Sorry about that. Then we can do that. Otherwise, I am just gonna play some freelancer.
Well done, 47. The Syndicate has been eliminated. However, I have intel that there are more connected. Finish the job. Take them all down, and you will be well rewarded. Get back to me when you're ready.
Money, money, money. Okay, let's see. How are we getting on with this? We have a few items in there, but not too much yet. Oh, that's the third leg. Okay. Let's see, what do we have here? Ambrose. Ambrose isn't too bad if we're not doing a showdown. Dartmoor, Dubai, Hokkaido. Bangkok, Dartmoor, Haven. Haven is even worse. Scale, Miami, Paris, Santa Fortuna. Bangkok, Dubai, Marrakesh. New York and Paris. That's interesting. I think we can do that one. The cleaner. Berlin, Colorado. Colorado isn't too bad when not a showdown. These are pretty okay. Hokkaido, Japan. No. So either this one or this one. Drowning, trap kills. I'll take this one. Yes. Okay, Marrakesh and Bangkok are alerted, so what I'd like to do on these things is do the alerted ones first, so I'll get that one out of the way. 3 targets and 1 of everything. Okay, poison a guard. Okay, so that's easy. Take a seeker. Okay, headshot kills only. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Silent assassin. We're going to do Silent Assassin on Bangkok. Open safe with an explosive. Well, there is a safe, so I can do that. Silent Assassin is pretty tricky in freelancer sometimes, so let's not. Let's take this. Headshot kills only. Poison a guard. Explosive kill remote. Reaching charge. I don't need that because I can make my own bomb. Okay. But I need an explosive to kill to open the safe. But I could use a fire extinguisher for that. You know what? I'm just gonna take it just in case. If I don't need it, I don't need it. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Oh. What's in the box? A Semtex demo block. Don't need it. Okay, so what are we going to do for an outfit on Bangkok? Oh wait, for some reason I had Mumbai in my head. So Bangkok, it should not be too terrible either. Okay. So Bangkok, so that could be... Not here. Greek fire, I like this one. I like this one. Yes, okay. Then, since there's a courier, let's go get a banana. Yoink. How's the stew coming? Let's make sure it's okay. Nom nom nom. Bomb. Yes, bomb. Probably the bomb is probably on the balcony near the shoals where you can spawn. Hopefully it's there and not all the way up in the tower at the top floor or something. Which it will probably be now that I've mentioned it. Because the game is listening. Okay, craft my explosive. There we go, get it. Good. Now, do I need anything else? Can use something to bomb somebody with. Let's go see if there's a coin here. No coin here. Birds! Why do birds suddenly appear? Ah, there's a coin. Good. Yoink. Okay, so let's revise. Headshot kills only. Well, I'm gonna blow him up. Explosive kill with a remote. So that is this. What's this is for? Poison a guard. That's what I got the seeker for. And open the safe with an explosive. There's probably a fire extinguisher nearby, or I can use the breaching charge. So, okay, I think we're good. Let's go.
Safe journey, 47.
Safe journey, 47. Let's see. That's Diana. I'll be able to finish this mission without getting spotted.
Rick Dangerous just
Welcome
redeemed.
to Bangkok.
Tangerine emoji.
Intel
Ask
tells
I
us that
die
the
in a
operative
burnwood.
syndicate members
Will I
are
be able
currently
to
in the
finish
area.
this mission without
Rick
getting
Dangerous
spotted?
asked
Do
me,
what you do
will I
best.
be able to finish this
However,
mission without
this
getting
is no
spotted?
walk in the park.
Possible, yes.
They are on
Probable.
high
Depends
alert,
on your
so you need to be
patience,
careful.
route, and how
Shut up,
slow
the other
you are
Diana.
fleeing. Stick to cover, isolate targets, and let the syndicate trip over their own security. Good luck.
Okay. Let the syndicate trip over. She does know somehow that I am playing freelancer. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I got 3 targets. got a there's a fire extinguisher here, so I can take that along. Is open? No.
Say what?
Boom, 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 boom.
You, move in.
No problem.
Oh, right when he comes out? Oh, brother. I need you to stay here, brother. Oh, and then he's coming out?
Anything.
Really?
Can you please get out of my face?
Yeah, I'm about to get out of your face. You're gonna get a face full of this. Okay. Give me your clothes, your boots. I don't need your motorcycle. Okay. Now I should be able... Oh, right. I don't have a key card. Let's go over here. Hey, your friend left...
Talk to the boss man about these uniforms again.
Polyester sticking to my...
That is one nasty crack. What the hell could have done this?
Well, whatever it was.
Oh, that's convenient.
Okay.
Hey, check that out, would you?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
What the shit was
Excellent
that? Go
work,
check
47. You've spread fear within the Syndicate.
Oh, the other one is upstairs over there. Okay.
Hey, are you okay?
Oh, I lost my... where the hell did I put my fire extinguisher? Somewhere over there when I chucked it in or something?
Central, I have nothing to report from my current location. Over.
Just get a propane tank, thank you. Oh, I don't need to be silent assassin. Oh, I can't be there.
That's right.
He's up there. Okay.
More security?
We need to change outfits, and that's not a real problem. Probably, maybe, possibly. Hello, sir. Hello, hello, hello. Bonk. Give me your clothes. Okay. Oh, right, he doesn't like me.
Jordan's manager. He's not the boss of us.
Who's in 04 anyway?
She didn't say.
Dude, can you please turn around or
He's staying
something?
in the Queen Suite, so I figured.
Stop smoking in the rooms. These rooms are non-smoking.
Deliver his letter.
I
In
will.
violation of Code 348 of the National Hotel Association Guide. And on the carpet as well. Oh, you asshole.
Man, I wish she was my manager.
Okay, so now I need him to... Oh man, they all don't like us because it's alerted, I guess. Okay.
Nice to see you. Keep walking.
Yeah, I'm walking. Oh, it's the cook over there. Okay. Oh, I can probably. It's a shame that I don't have poison.
Sir, behave in an orderly fashion.
Oh, believe me, it's soundproof. The sound booth is soundproof.
The sound booth is soundproof. Okay.
Oh, come on. What did you do, man?
Let's just say, no, you're gonna have to figure it out. Well, now I'm definitely not gonna tell you.
Did you bring that girl from the reception up here? Oh, come on. Was that what last night's Houdini act was about? Why it smelled like pine refresher in here?
Wait, where does he go?
Don't deny anything. You can think what you want, man.
Huh?
Going over Oh, and he's leaving too.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, you come over here, please.
No one there? Stop being a dick and get yourself...
Okay, let's put you on ice. Cook is coming back. Good, good, good. The other one isn't coming back. Okay. Good. Not just yet, at least.
Syndicate member eliminated. Well done.
Keep an eye on the minimap. There we go. Alright, alright, alright. Where's the third one? All the way down there. Oh boy. Where's that? Oh, it's outside the restaurant? Fuck. Oh, it is... Ooh, the safe is all the way in the basement. Okay. Go. There. Yes, yes, yes. Excuse me. Coming through.
You seen Heidi since?
Yeah, it's a shame I'm not allowed to be here. Oh, maybe. Where did I get this outfit from? Over here, right? Or was it? No, it was up one floor.
1% rich. Yeah, Jordan?
Right. Right. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Whoop. There we go. Hello, fellas. Okay, let's go down to the basement.
Sorry, buddy. Security was just notched up. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Carry an anti-consumerist message? You got it?
Now I can go over here. Over here. And then... Was there a... No, it's on the other side. It is on the other side. Over here. There's a box in there. Let's see if they give us anything useful for a change. Well, explosive baseball. Okay. Whatever. Whatever, man. You do you. Let's see, where's the safe? Oh, it's over here.
Hey?
Excuse me.
Poison the guard. Okay, let's do that first. Before anybody freaks out. Okay. Hey! There's a thing over here too. Let's make sure they calm down first. Oh, let's get in here before they spot me. Are they coming in? No. Just gonna chill out for a second. Okay, cool. Everybody chill. Oh, I've got a emetic here. Yoink. 2.3k. Okay. Now, we gotta get up there. He's on level 1 in the restaurants. Okay. Hey, Corrido. Happy Monday to you, my dude. Oh, let's get around him. How are you doing this fine afternoon? Oh, here. He's over there.
And they still can't believe their luck.
Ah, the old cat.
Vegan birthday cake. It's ridiculous.
Hello, hello, hello. Let's get through here. A car battery. And a kitchen knife. Whatever. Oh, she doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. Hey. Oh boy. Crap, I should have got him in first because he was in a perfect spot over there to do something. They all don't like me. Oh, that's a thing. Is he smoking? No, he's just talking to dead air. Okay. Where is he going? Okay, he's going to the bar, maybe? Hey, Atreyu. Happy Monday, my dude.
Good to see plenty of security here.
Yeah. What's he doing? Is he flexing? Man, that's just standing there. Yeah, I can just shoot him, but Let's go back here.
What do I know? Bug to bug.
Oh, there's a
Kind
box
of
right
invading
here.
Chinese breed, I guess.
What's in this? Baseball, fish, Napoleon blown apart.
You know, sometimes I look at you and I just really wonder, how does this crazy shit get into your head? Like, doesn't you have some kind of filter that blocks out?
Fun fact, tomorrow will be over 30. See over here for local weed. Oh boy, yeah, it's hot out here too right now. Let's see, it's well, it's 26 gevoelstemperatuur. So.
Did you really think I was serious? Okay.
Yeah.
Not right now, please.
Oh, dude.
Where's this shit from?
Okay. So who is this guy cop?
Oh, I was hoping I could. Oh.
Who's kidding?
Woo! He almost saw me. Man, he's on walkabout, isn't he? Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Ninja. Mr. Ninja.
Gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty.
Alright, alright, alright. Oh, is he smoking over there?
What? Now, why would someone throw stuff?
Please go back to your smoking.
You know, sneaking around like
Or is
that.
he vaping?
That's what we would say in my
To
house.
be more understanding towards your
Yes, yes.
ideas.
Light up.
Well done.
That was
This will
a
surely
nice,
be a blow to the syndicate.
nice thing.
Get back to the safe house.
Okay.
I'll be in touch.
They're all freaking out over here. I don't want to be anywhere near. Yeah, there was a courier, right? Oh, a supplier. Let's see what he has. Where the hell is he? Oh, he's in the basement. Okay, we can get there.
God.
Let's go to the basement. Again.
I'm at the location now, and we're clear. Nothing going on here. Out.
He had some nice flight time. Oh, brother. I've got dudes over here that are freaking out.
He's hiding here somewhere. I know it. Let's go.
Understood.
Notices me. I feel like I really stick out here.
Feel like I really stick out. Wait, is the courier nearby? Oh, this was weird.
Huh? Command, be advised we have a casualty. Stay alert.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Jeez.
What the? This is Delta 9er. Code 11. I got a skip.
Okay. Let's see. Where, in relation to me, is this? Oh, it's right. Right. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Getting through. Ah, there you are. Let's close the door.
Hey there.
What do you got for me?
Need anything? I might have it.
You might.
More.
A ducky. Well, I'll take it.
Take care now.
Okay. Let's see. Where's the courier? All the way on level 4. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not going all the way back up there again. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
So catchy. Well, that's great, but I'm trying to.
What are you playing, ladies?
Card. Mrs.
Ah, they're playing Sapienza.
If I lose another one. Say what?
Hit maps. Hitman map. There we go. Yeah, 30 degrees, man. What the fuck? And I'll have to be in the office, and we don't have aircon over there. So if it gets too hot, I'm just gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna go home. Let's see. Buienradar. What does it give me for my region tomorrow? Verwachting. Tuesday. Oh, 26 degrees. Wednesday, 27. Oh wait, that's the date. Yeah, it also gives me 30 for my local area. Oh my god. That's gonna be... Then in Sapienza, isn't Rocco playing the sniper challenge from Absolute Pre-Order? Yeah, it is. He is. I also have that that game. I didn't pre-order Absolution, but I do have that game. Last Friday it was also about 30C here, was it? Yeah, Friday it was also very hot here. Yeah, it was around 30 around here too. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm Dutch. I'm not built for these temperatures. Thank God I installed air conditioning last year. So in my room it's now a nice 22 degrees.
Good work. If you feel like it, you can now redecorate a bit.
Hey, Wanted Hitman. Tomorrow first fight stream? Certainly no. That will be on Friday because tomorrow I have to work and I don't have time to stream. So yeah, sorry about that. I do intend to stream it. So Friday there won't be any Hitman. It will just be 007 James Bond first flight stream. So yeah. You 100%ed Absolution. Also got a really nice hardcover guide. Oh, nice. I didn't even know there was a hardcover guide for that. Okay, so second one is Marrakesh because it's also alerted. 4 targets. Oh, good. And 1 of everything. Okay. Let's get rid of all this so we can prepare with a clean slate. Let's see, what are we going to do? Silent pistol kill epic. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. is what he said before he fails the mission. Silent pistol kill epic, so there we go. Oh, there's even a legendary. Oh, I can bring this epic. There we go. Krugi, also always a good choice. You bought the HD remaster, but it's so hard going back to such a different playstyle. Yeah, I started with Hitman 2. I bought the pack for the Hitman 1 maps with it, and from there I played it on. I later on tried to play the old ones, but they were pretty janky in comparison, so I just never finished it. I did do the sniper on the high rise on the what's that called? Sniper contracts or something? No, sniper challenge, something like that. It's on the roof of the of the skyscraper, where you're shooting down on them. But yeah, that's a fun mission. But it's just one map. That's a bit of a shame. Let's see, I need an unsilenced pistol kill, but yeah, I can get that from any guard in Marrakesh. Kill only targets, poison a target, okay, poison a target. I'll get this again, okay. Silenced pistol kill epic I have. Do I need anything else for Marrakesh? Keycard perhaps. Keycard and a lockpick. Blood Money is even worse to play. That's the first I got into Hitman. Oh, really? I originally started with Blood Money, made it basically to the end at the White House, but didn't finish it. I never even got that far. Isn't Blood Money where you also have the dude on the Chinese market you have to kill? I think, and or is it? And you have a library to get through, and you have to flee for a helicopter that's shooting up the place and on the rooftops where you have to pass through. I think I quit right after that. Some anti-salesman spray. Yeah. Okay, we got a courier. We got a. Okay, we're gonna. Let's see. What are we gonna wear in Marrakesh? Let's consult the random suit picker, shall we? Oh, that Absolution. What are you talking about? Oh, it's Absolution. Excellent. Okay. So I played Absolution up to, I think, the point I need to get out of the library, or when they start shooting up shooting up the place. I don't know which one comes first, but yeah. Okay, Deluxe Black Dragon. Okay, let's do that. Deluxe Black Dragon. A hotel, you can't remember the order. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'll go back to them one day, but yeah, I currently don't feel like it. Okay, so we gotta get a banana and a coin. There's only one courier, so I know I haven't been getting the couriers the last few runs, but yeah. Oh yeah, make the. I always forget to make the bomb, which is just a free entry in your loadout because it takes up no space for some reason. Please, IOI, don't fix that. And it's invisible when down, so that's a very nice gesture. Except please don't fix that. My invisible bomb, okay. No, get some. We're expecting guests apparently because we have 3 lawn chairs here. Let's see if we can find a coin. You love the Blood Money maps? Yeah, I have. It's been so long since I booted up that game. I can't even remember which is which, and I don't think I even have them all. I think I bought 1 or 2 of them because I liked Hitman 2 so much, but then, like you already mentioned, the gameplay is so different. It's not even funny anymore. So we'll have to get used to that.
Safe journey, 47.
I can also see the other way around, how people love the first Hitmans, and then Hitman 2016 came around and the gameplay was quite different, that they thought that this isn't Hitman. Remember the gambling boat? No. I don't. I haven't been on the gambling boat. So yeah. Blood Money starts at the Ferris wheel, then the strip club maybe. I don't think I played Blood Money then.
Here. But you
Hello there. This spawn. Of course they're spawning me here.
They're on
hey Panda, welcome.
It's going to be easy. Godspeed, 47.
Crap. Okay. I always hate this spawn. Crap. You replayed Wolfenstein 3 a while back? That's terrible to play. The first 3 game use of the mouse was really new back then. Yeah. It can be a pain in the ass.
What? Command, either we got a poltergeist or someone's throwing things at me.
Yeah, we got a poltergeist, buddy. And he's coming out. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna kill him, I guess. Oh, kill only targets. Ooh. Okay. So no killing other people. You can't get through here. Ah, it's locked. This is locked. Oh, I have a lockpick on me. Why am I being difficult? Okay. Unlock this door. Good. Okay. We're out. But we're not scot-free yet. Go this way. There's nobody. Okay, so it spawned me right next, almost close to a target. That's weird. Where does he go? Oh, no.
Soldier?
Hello, hello, hello. He's in the play area back there, I guess. Crap. And this pattern is really messing with me. The shadow pattern.
Private?
Private? Don't talk about my private.
Good.
Where the fuck is he going?
Hello there.
Hey Jenny, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Can I get you to come over here, sir?
What the?
Hello there.
Contract? Hey, Lemon is cool with girls.
Copy that.
Oh. Welcome. Okay.
Excellent work, 47.
There we
You've
go.
spread fear within the Syndicate.
Contract? Well, I'm doing freelancer again. Yeah, I was doing contracts before, so I should have been here earlier. I can take a look at the contract after this map, maybe. Not too long. Okay, so we're out. Where's the rest of the jokers? Over there. Okay. Oh my god, they all... Oh, it's because it's alerted. They all don't like me because I'm alerted. Okay. There's no... Oh, fuck. They removed the propane tanks over here. Let's get in here. Let's see where she goes. Got this dude over here, so if I try to... Yeah, I could blow up the propane tank, but I'm not killing everybody else over there. Don't want that. Did I pick up the unsilenced pistol from the dude? No. Well, I have 4 tries, so...
We're not barbarians. It'll be done in a just way.
Just. Really?
Do I have a coin? Yes.
Hey, wait a minute.
Why the hell isn't she reacting to this? Oh, now he's coming. Oh, you asswipe. I could kill her, but then I'm going to start a panic that I'm not ready for in this location. Studied in South Korea and watching a stream Hitman. Oh, nice. Hey lady, notice me. Hey lady, over here. Fuck. Let's see. Let's go find a propane tank. There should be one right over here somewhere. There we go. There's too many people in this map. Get out of my way! Society project? Oh, nice. So how long do you have left? Did you go to South Korea to study, or do you live in South Korea?
I can see you have an eye for highlighting my fine contemplate.
Korean insurance system? Okay.
Salam. Hi. Hello.
Crap.
Salute, soldier.
Hey.
Oh, fuck me.
Salam. I am so honored by your visit.
I'm right over here, lady. I'm right over here.
You're
Uh-oh. That didn't go as, as good as I hoped. So I was thinking, oh, she's following me, so I can lure her into this little bathroom. But yeah, this is not good, brother. So now I'm compromised. That's a bit of a problem. So I need to get a gun from somebody. Okay, so there. Yeah, if I go out there now, they all don't like me. That's gonna be a pain in the behind. Crap, and I can't get out here either. That's on the other toilet that's inside the Shishka, whatever, inside this cafe. So how the hell am I gonna do this? Sir, can you see me? How the hell am I gonna get out of here? Crap. Why the hell did it shoot over there? Okay, so what if I coin him in here? Maybe I can get his outfit. That would be nice. Okay, gotcha, bitch. Now, give me your outfit. Let's put that out of the way. Okay. Oh, now she sees that. Problem is if I kill her. Oh god.
Good evening, sir. Please come right through. If you need it.
Good evening. Let's see, he has a gun, he has a regular gun. I need somebody with a pistol, man. Do I really need to go into the consulate for that? I would not like that, no. Where the fuck is the exit? Okay, over there. Let's see. Let's come back for her later. Let's go into the consulate because I can see a target over there. I can always snipe her from up there or something, I don't know. Propane is a bit of a dangerous thing to use. Am I allowed in this outfit in here, over there, or what?
Sir, you are not authorized to be. Keep going. Glad I made it clear to you.
7 billion, my friends. 7 billion. Oh, did I bring the key card over here? I did. Oh, he's coming in here. Now there's two of them. That's not good. Where the fuck is this fucker? Over here. Level 1. Oh, that's the back room. Okay. there a box in here? Yes, there is. Okay. Oh, good God, man. Just go away, will you? Nobody cares about that. Can he just go? God, why does it always take so long? Yeah. Move, please. Thank you. Step out. Thank you very much. Close the door. Okay. And we've got ourselves the loud pistol we need. Good, good, good. Okay. So now I can get in there. Hey. Okay. There he goes. Oh, and the other one is in the basement. Oh, that's perfect. Let's see.
Massage expert Connie Engstrom reported at the reception desk. That was Connie Engstrom. Please go to the reception desk.
6 small screws and 5 sort of.
Say what?
Crap, he's coming this way.
Welcome.
No, 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 no.
You are not normal.
Building surrounded by pissed off rioters. The military.
He's going in here.
It is not.
No, you don't! What the?
You crazy
Hey, hey, hey!
Shut up!
Right in the head?
No!
Someone, anyone, you gotta help!
Well done, 47. This will surely be a blow to the syndicate.
Okay. Now I'm just gonna... Oh. No guards coming? Oh, there's the guard that's freaking out, but not him. That's... Okay, now the... Now it's spreading. She's not a target, right? No, she isn't.
Oh, this is disgusting. What should I do?
This is disgusting! Kill every guard? No. No, I have kill only targets, as you can see in the top left. And yeah, I'm trying to do that. I tried to do the objectives in the in this game mode. So, yeah, even though I maybe don't need the mercers at the moment.
Hello? Anybody home? We've got another dead one here.
All right, you there? You there?
Command, please acknowledge. Hello, I'm trying.
Central, newest intel on the perpetrator. He's in one of our uniforms.
Oh, I should have killed her. Now now I'm compromised in this outfit too. Oh boy, this is going to be fun getting out.
I don't want to die.
Oh, but if I should have punched her out maybe, and then punched her out again, so that they don't remember. Wait, where did he? Oh, he was woken up. Okay. Can I get out? Yeah. Can I take your outfit? No, I can't. And I can't take your outfit because I'm already in this disguise. Oh, brother, this is going to be a thing.
Hey, you need to snap out of it. Come on your feet. It's safe now. Sorry, but they got away.
I can take his outfit, massage expert Connie Angstrom, but he is... That's a problem.
What the hell is this world coming to? When people just leave their weapons lying around? What the hell's going on?
Hey, just stay back.
What the hell is going on, man? What the hell's going on? Yes, I'm gonna take your outfit.
Oh boy. I really need a cigarette here. Yes, I'm still here, and I'm still not doing it. Forget about the angry mob, okay? Do you know who this Strandberg guy is? Huh, Donald? Do you? He's a wanted.
Okay, if he can now close the door, please.
Fiscal darkness. I'm not performing with these hands on the likes of him. It's bad karma, Donald. I mean, what if I lost my golden touch as a result, Then what would I do with myself and my life?
Ah, fuck, the door isn't closing.
I am not exaggerating, no. This asshole stole billions from honest, hard-working...
And now the lady is over there.
No, not again.
That fucking lady that saw me the first time. Ah, now the door's closing, okay.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for a lung full of sweet, sweet nicotine right about now. Tough guy, huh? Knocking innocent people out?
Okay, drop this. Put you on ice. And this one on ice. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's see. All the way over there. Oh my god, he went into the... fuck, he went into the tunnels. There was a way to get into the tunnels from here. Let's see. Over there, and he doesn't like me. And there is his guard friend, okay. Oh, they're walking. They're walking. Oh my god, they're walking. Can I get you to come over here, my friend? Oh my god! Exactly at that point in time, that dude comes out.
In. Heard something odd.
That's the... Crap. How am I gonna do this then? I don't feel like going all the way around. Because I can get into the tunnels over here. At least into the garage over here. And then get over there. Otherwise, I'll have to go all the way around. And I don't really want to do that. Okay, so he's fucking off. Good god, it's always like Grand Central. And of course he's watching that way. Oh my god. They really cornered this off, right? Okay.
Mr. Wellness. Whoa.
Find another way. How is he? Am I allowed to go up there without being frisked? Hello.
Gotta rub you down, sir.
Yeah, you really like to rub me down, right? That's what you really like, huh? Get over here.
You, move in. Yep.
He's gonna send him? Fuck me, man. Okay, let's see what's going on here right now. Okay, everybody is gone. Good. Surprise, motherfucker. Oh, is there a key card over here? Oh, let's drag his ass over here. Okay. What's your freelancer mastery level? It's currently at 92 or something, 93. Something to that effect. Ah, I used my key card already. Crap. They're going this way, I'm going that way. Okay, what else do we have here that I can use? Keys. Okay, so tunnels. Oh, I could have gone through down. Okay, there's another way down that I could have used.
Syndicate member eliminated. Well done, 47.
Man.
Please don't spread all the way over here. Okay. They're cool. Good, good, good. Gotta be careful of this dude. Yeah, okay. There's some coins over here. Only one coin. Normally there's like 5 or 6 or something. How does it let get to that master level? A long time. The first it ramps up the amount of XP you need for the later levels. I would say the first 80 take as long as the last 20. It's really ridiculous. Oh, I am compromised here. Is there another outfit I can get? Oh crap. Let's get in here till he passes. So yeah, it's it really takes a pretty long time. Okay, he's going that way. That's good. Okay, I need another outfit. Headmaster. Maybe.
How do you, soldier? Get it? I am so honored by your visit to my humble stall. Let me
Oh, and he doesn't like me either. Oh, brother.
Want to try some snail meat?
Oh, this outfit isn't good anymore. Let's.
No way.
Son of a bitch! Fruits from a secret oasis?
Recruit?
Get the fuck out of my way. I need to get up here. Oh, you. Good. Get in here. Bonk. Give me that. Good. Let's put you in here so that won't be found. No, I didn't want to go in there. I wanted to open the door, please. Okay. So we're good? We're good. Okay. Now. Oh, another coin. Can never have enough shit to throw around. This isn't the headmaster side up. Oh, but now I can. Oh, it's all the way over there. Where the hell is she? Like this. Okay. Carpets, carpets.
Whatever.
Yeah. Needs drapes to match with it. Yeah. Woo! Fuck. Oh, can I? Oh. She's gonna sit right over here, right? Yeah. I think I can get her from up the roof over there. Excuse me, coming through. Coming through. Hey, sir. Let me through. Hey, sir. Sorry. Ball.
Command, do you copy? Got a body here at my spot.
I need help! Right now!
Got her.
Excellent work, 47. You've spread fear within the syndicate.
Oh boy, that was a thing. Let me see. Disguise. Ah, it's in the consulate garage. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You should get back to the safe house. I'll contact
Forget
you
about
later.
that. Maybe if I got her first, then. Let's see. Let's just get out of here. Engaging. Oh boy. So, Hitman, what mastery level are you currently at? I'll check my mastery level. Oh, 94 I am. I'm 94. You can see right here. Perfect run. Nice. There we go.
Good work back there. The Syndicate took a serious blow, but there is still much work to get done. Recuperate and prepare for your next assignment.
Okay. Okay. Next. Let's see, where are we going? New York, Paris, or Dubai? I think I'll do the showdown in New York, so let's go to Dubai. 3 targets and a supplier, okay. High target body, no combat, silenced firearm kill, okay. Silenced, okay, so that matches up, good. I need an epic pistol, so I can use the Krugi again, good. For that part, depending on where they are, I might need a key card. Okay. And maybe a lockpick. Let's see what's in the box. Proxy taser, okay. Get the ducky. I forget. Only a supplier, okay. So no couriers, no safe, so I don't have to bring a banana or a coin for them per se. High target bodies, so maybe make them sick so that they go to a place I can hide them. I could use a coin to distract though. Just in case, I'm gonna bring. Oh, let's wear something nice, something classic, something ashen. There we go. That's a nice suit. And then just gonna make the bomb just in case. Never know if I'll need it, but yeah, I'll probably don't. But it is what it is. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I'll be in touch when you reach your destination.
Boom, boom. And I'd only have to hide the target body, so anybody else I knock out or something don't have to be hidden. Just the target body. So that's some sort of weird objective.
Welcome to the Scepter, Dubai. The Syndicate is currently operating in the area.
Of course, I'm
Find
over
them
here.
and
Okay.
eliminate. Be careful.
All the way over there? Really? Oh, is that the janitor dude?
Hello. Yeah, just want to remind you about the lockdown drill tomorrow. That's right, 900 hours. The key card's activated on still in safety and security.
Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum.
He's going out that other door.
Hey, it's me. I thought about what you said. Yeah, I changed my mind. It was an insane idea to start with. I could feel them being gone. I don't want blood on my hands. I've never taken things to such an extreme before. I promise I'll start
I know he has a key, but yeah.
I know I have issues. Admittance. That's the first step, right? Huh? I've locked the golf ball up in the maintenance pod.
Oh, I didn't bring the key.
And people tend to react that room anyway.
Isn't there like a? Oh, there's a key here. There used to be a wrench here or something.
What? Help! They stop!
You are 555 back on Foxtrot.
Well done, 47. This will surely be a blow to the Syndicate.
Okay, so we're still good. Okay. Woo. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Banana peel. Okay, where's the rest? Let's see. Downstairs, level 2, 1 down, and all the way on level 0. Okay, so he's next. Have to go down and then all the way over. Okay. All the way over there. Okay. Or maybe go outside. Oh boy, they don't like me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Maybe get one of these dudes' outfits.
Excuse me? Command, we might have a situation. I'll check the perimeter. Over.
Cool, okay. Get you in here. Outfit. Okay. Where is he now? Over there. Went down another flight of stairs. Okay. The Burj Al Ghazali. Oh, and I need to hide you too.
Wonderful! You know, I didn't think you'd come after
I would love
Oh.
to chat, but Marcus
Sorry.
Excuse me. Don't mind me.
Ooh. He is a smoker. I can't lure him in here. Because he's too far away, I guess. Crap, I should have grabbed the coin.
Looking good, man.
Oh, maybe... Can I get you in here?
Your boss seems pretty interesting.
Crap, he's moving on again.
Hello, sir.
It's because I pulled out a gun. They're freaking out, but yeah.
Hey, stay safe.
Are you going in here? Oh.
Can you smell it?
Can you smell it?
Someone there?
This is pissing me off.
Excellent work, 47. You've spread fear within the Syndicate.
There we go. Okay, he should be hidden. Okay, oh, it's one of these two. Okay. Okay, I can't... that's gonna be a problem. I can't hide him in the toilet because there is no box over here. That means I need to push him out of the window here.
This day keeps getting better and better.
Okay. Get rid of you guys. Okay, let's see. What if I just make him go away? Waiting for him to move so I can do the timing right. Oh, just go. Dude.
Jeez. What was that?
No way.
Okay.
Come on.
Syndicate member eliminated. Well done, 47. Get back to the safe
Okay.
house. I'll be in touch.
Whee! Okay, high target buddies done. Now, was there anything else? Just the supplier. Where is he or she? Over here. On level 3. Okay. On the edge of the hallway. Oh, I know where that is. Okay. That is no problem. I don't think the dealer will have anything for me, but yeah. Because basically everything is filled out. I only have the boxes left. There's a box up here.
How's it going up here?
We're good for now, but we've only got one fuse left in the fuse box.
Useless.
Hey there. Need anything?
Need anything? Yes, I need anything.
Okay.
Hey, Kev. Welcome. Ooh. Aha. But good. Everything is good. I am having a wonderful time playing freelancer at the moment. Because the game isn't... thanks so much for the follow.
It's time to get swifty.
Trying to get through this unscathed. So I just did the supplier. There's nothing else, so I can get out. I just need to find the exit. Oh, brother. There we go. Nice. How deep are you into freelancer? The current syndicate, I am on the 3rd leg. Mastery level, I'm 94. So, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I'm on the 3rd leg. Oh, you can't see I'm in the way. I'm just on the third leg here, over here. A second. Oh my! So I just completed that one. And over there, it's hard to point at. There you can see I'm a level 94 out of 100. So I'm not 100 just yet, but these last few levels take a lot of time. It's addictive, yeah. Well, I'd like contracts more, but freelancer is cool too. But I only play it off and on.
Excellent work back there, 47. Let me know when you're ready to continue. I'll be waiting.
But I ran out of contracts, and nobody had contracts for me, so I just went to freelancer. Let's dump all this. Okay, and then man, he looks menacing, doesn't he? What's platform I on? I'm playing on Epic. On PC, Epic version. Let me see. Showdown on New York, so we're going to Paris. 3 targets, courier and a supplier, no safe, okay. Silence, pistol kill, epic. Yeah, well, that's popping up a lot. Eliminate, oh wait a minute, eliminate guard with an SMG. Okay. 2 birds with 1 stone, okay. SMG epic. There we go. Oh, that's a rare. I need an epic. Okay. And I'm taking pistol. There we go. Headshots only. Silence pistol kill. Yeah, okay. Silence pistol kill I can do with this. Submachine kill I can do with this. Oh, how many targets do we have? More than 1, right? Otherwise I cannot complete this. 3 targets. Okay, okay. That's good. Headshot kills only, I can do that. Okay. Let's take this. I can remember a lot of contracts and also already beat them all. I did all the featured contracts. I did a lot of all, but contract suggestions are always welcome. But not today. I'm doing freelancer, so no contracts today. And next week, next Friday, coming Friday, I will be playing 007, the new 007 game. And depending on how that goes, that might also be the next stream. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I suspect it's a lot like Hitman, because it's the same guys that make that, of course. So I expect a lot of similar gameplay aspects of that, but also a lot of new stuff, of course, because otherwise it's just Hitman in a 007 skin and we don't really want that. So yeah, the BCR contracts. What are BCR contracts? I have played all the featured contracts, if is that what you mean, or but BCR, I don't know what that is. Okay, guys, before I go on the next mission, I need to take a pee, so yeah. Give me a second, I'll be back in like half a minute, a minute. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, I'm back. W7 will be a passing phase. Yeah, because it's just a single player game. It has no big replayability, I think, because it doesn't have like the contracts or the things we have here. So yeah. BCR is a community of hundreds of Hitman players that compete in a weekly contract across all platforms. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I didn't know that. Hey, Street Surgeon, welcome. I'm good, thank you. I'm hoping you're good as well. I hope you all had a great weekend. Yeah. And happy Monday, of course. Let's see. I am on my way to Paris. Let's see where they spawn me. Probably in the attic. That's where they usually spawn me for some reason. Let's see. Let's recap. Silent snipe, silent pistol kill. I can do SMG. I can do eliminate guards. Yes, headshot only. I can do. Okay. I have a seeker on me, so I can put them where I need them to be. If it comes to that, I don't need silent assassin. Do I need anything else for? Are there locked doors? I need a lockpick for problem. Oh, let's see what's in the box. Remote explosive. Yeah, let's take that. Let's just take a lockpick just in case. Oh, I forgot. Was there a courier? Yeah, 2 even. Okay. Is there key-carded doors in Paris, with the exception of the attic one? No, right? Because then I don't need this. Pick up the banana. I'll make the explosive.
Lick, lick, lick my balls! Yeah, say that all the time.
Yeah, lick 'em good. There we go. Make the explosive. Add the fuel cell. Fuse. Not fuel. Fuse. Create the thing. Immediate originally happy Monday. Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can find them when I go looking for contracts again. I'm working on a contract finder, but yeah, that's for the future. Oh, I was looking for a coin. That's right. There's a coin there. Okay. Let's see if there's one in the stump, because that's the only 2 places the coin can spawn. It's in this stump over here. Oh, where it is now, or by the water side. So that's that. Oh, because I have gear over, and I have a gear capacity left. I can bring the grapes, which are acting the same way as a banana. You can make people slip on them. Yoink. Let's get some stuff. Okay, so, okay, I'm full. That's good. Oh, let's pick an outfit. That's also something. If you're a Hitman streamer and you want to give the people reason to, or you have a redeem to pick a suit, or you want to give the people a choice to give you a random suit, I have made something for that. It's called the Random Suit Picker, and it's free to use. The URL sometimes pops up. It's also in the screen here, on the screen here. Hello. Why doesn't that work? thank you so much for the gifted sub to Key Gold, Shardy. Why doesn't... Oh, don't tell me the website is down again. My hoster is sometimes being a bit of a bitch. Let's see. Oh, come on. Why? Why now? Oh, that is working.
Weird. Weird.
Yeah, it's
Shoddy underscore waffles underscore just redeemed. Weird.
Yeah, my hoster is having problems again. Oh man, I probably need to find another hoster because this is the second time in like a month where it's down. So yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, it's here, and if it's working, then it's free. But I think I need to move hosting sites because it's the second time. Anyway, it will pop up on your screen, and it will like a kind of slot machine, pick a random suit and work from there. But it's all explained on the website if it works again. Hopefully, it will be. Okay, see it, man. Guys, have a good stream. Well, okay, thank you, Streetchen. Thank you for dropping in, man. Have a great day. Let's see. So we're going to Paris, so something formal, maybe. Let's take. Oh, the Kashmirian is such a good suit. This is such a beautiful suit. Yes. Okay. We can leave. Let's go.
Bon voyage, 47.
What's wrong with Shardy?
Welcome to Paris. Syndicate
Oh, Street, you mean? He's been
area.
lurking.
Find them and take them down. Be careful.
He lurks a lot. It's just fun. Oh, this spawn? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. Okay. Shardy is still here. See, there's a crowbar right here and a brick. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Kev. The Street Surgeon. That's really appreciated. And thank you so much for the follow, Womp Womp.
Yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
Let's see, you gotta kill him. Let's get in here. You're the Twitch ninja. Yeah, exactly. I know you're lurking a lot, so that's okay. Lurkers are the backbones of Twitch, man. We love lurkers. It's everybody's welcome. And if you don't want to chat, you're also welcome.
Hey, anyone there?
Okay, good. That's my first guard kill with SMG. Right, okay. So now I'm not illegal carrying this. Okay, take this maybe. Oh, let's see what's in the box. Street is the backbone of contracts. But true. Can't deny that. Okay, so maybe get you in here. Just put it here so that it doesn't explode when I close that. Right, that's 2 SMG guard kills. Good. I haven't even started yet on the regular folk. Okay, you go over there, please.
I think I just heard something.
Where is my... Oh, it's over here. Already just started. I already have too much shit in my inventory.
I really can't bother with.
Whoa!
Yeah!
Hey, thank you so much.
_gold cheered 100 bitties. Thank you,
In
Hart.
bird culture, this is considered a dick move.
Thank you so much for the 100 biddies, Kev Gold. Very much appreciated. And have a good lurk, Street. Thank you so much for being around here, hanging out. Let's see. Oh, that guy. Okay. Oh, let's see what's in this box. What other useless crap I'm getting? An explosive golf ball. Okay. Get over there. I will expose him. Oh, it's you. Okay. Cool. Come over here, please.
You gotta.
Oh, he's a smoker.
What? What? Excuse me, I think that is yours. Hey, wait a minute.
Have a good smoke, sir. Where was the others? Where are the others? Over there. Okay.
Well done, 47. This will surely be a blow to the syndicate.
Oh, he doesn't like me. Okay, cool. Now, let's see. Downstairs.
Make me a bare knuckle box.
Where the hell is he? All the way in the garden? Yeah, go to the garden. Okay. For him, we need to go down.
Aaron should have left you people the recipe. Sorry, Mr. Novikov.
Let's take the bar back end downstairs. Oh. Wait. What? I thought I could get down from here. Or maybe it's on the other side. Well, can't hide from me. Yeah, you show him. Okay. Oh, it's him. Okay.
Yeah, our shift is not done.
Machine kill.
Excellent work, 47. You've spread fear within the syndicate.
Okay, and then that leaves the silent pistol kill. Gotta remember that. Oh, I gotta get up there again. Hey, sir.
Help! Help!
Okay, let's get up there. And this SMG is super inaccurate. Okay, let's go over here. Over there, yeah, in the garden. Okay. Hello, sir.
Hey.
Hi. That was a very underwhelming hey. Krookie.
Check it out.
No problem.
Syndicate member eliminated.
Okay.
Well done, 47. Return to the safe house. Collect yourself. I'll be in touch.
Let's see, what else do we have? Couriers. Where are the couriers? All the way up level 2. Okay. Oh, that's one courier at least. And we have a supplier.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Well, it wasn't that bad. I didn't get into a shootout. Level 1. Oh, and the supplier is on level 3. Yeah, I don't think it's... Oh, we have two couriers. One here, one here. Okay. So, level 2. Level 1. Let's get up there then.
Whoa! No! No, we're not doing that. No.
Yes, we are. Oh, where's the courier? With respect to me? End of the hall. Right, okay. I need to go over here. Oh, over here.
So not professional.
Over here somewhere? Oh yeah, over there. Okay. Oh, you're going in here? Okay.
Where am I going?
How much? 12.50. Okay. I don't know if that was worth it, but let's see. Go upstairs. Oh, he's basically over there. Okay, so what was the easy way to get up? No, this just goes down. We really need to go through the stairwell.
God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
It's not that bad, is it? This just goes down too. Okay. Oh, brother, I need to go down here.
Payday next week.
Payday next week. Yeah. Okay. Where is he with respect to me? Downstairs? What? Did he go down? What the? One. He went down. Okay. Big dog is on the floor. Yeah. Give the fella a bare knuckle box.
Huh.
Okay, so he's over here. Okay. Can you please turn around? Because he's on this level now. Oh, he's down again? I'm still on level 2. What? Are you serious, man? Is he over here? He's in the crowd over there. He's here somewhere. Where are you? Oh, it's you. Over here. Okay.
Keep security tight.
Just walking. I mean, I'm the one putting my neck out here, and they don't care. So not professional.
So not professional. Did I bring the seeker? Yes, I did. Got him. Okay, so I'll go to the toilet and I can just take his money. What a weird path.
Man,
but
I
yeah,
wish I
he'll
had
go
that
in
job.
here.
Stop, you look fine.
I know I... Okay.
Are you just trying to get attention?
I don't need to kill you. I just need your money.
What? Because I know you did this. Yeah! Get some!
Fuck's sake, man.
Hurt.
Freaking gone. Right there. See him, anyone? Jesus.
Oh crap, they know. Fuck! Oh man, that went sideways so fast. Oh brother, why did that fucking lady have to come in the moment I knocked that dude down? Seriously. The timing on that, man. Man, I lost some good shit on that run. But at least it wasn't alerted. Oh, fuck me. Oh well. This is freelancer for you.
I hope your wounds are healing. But we need you back in action. Do what you have to do. And let me know when you're ready for the next assignment.
Well, at least she's not being pedantic about it this time. Oh, fuck me. Oh, there's Mercers here. What? 1300 Mercers. Okay. Get back in the signature suit. Okay, that means the next map will probably be alerted. Or is that the showdown? Oh, then we're gonna have a problem. Yes. See, alerted. Oh man, I was trying to avoid this, but the showdown on alerted is... Oh, it's annoying. Okay.
Good job, 47.
Just go in, find out who it is and get the fuck out. Silence pistol, kill, eliminate guard with a sniper.
I've provided you with new intel.
Open safe with an explosive. Is there even a safe? No safe. There's no safe. Why the hell do I get this? I hate that. So it's either silent assassin or timed hide and seek, and both suck on showdowns. But at least I'm not playing hardcore, so if I fail the prestige objectives, it's not that bad. Let's see, flash phones, duckies. A flash phone was also good because you can use that as a lure. Okay, New York. Oh, I lost my lockpick. I lost my seeker. Oh, fuck me. Silent pistol kill. Okay. And I lost my Krugi. Okay. Let's get this then. The seeker is actually OP. It has quite a bit of bloom though, but yeah, you can usually start. Hello. You can usually snipe people from across the map. That's weird. Okay. Eliminate guard with a sniper. Are we really gonna do that? Let's do it. Is this the Ave Maria one? It is. Okay. Silence pistol, yes, I have. But silence pistol isn't gonna jive with eliminating guards. And that would give me 1,000. So, but I'm probably not gonna do silent assassin because it's gonna. New York is hard. Yeah. Okay. Oh Christ! I lost my. Yeah. Well, I have a key. I have a universal key on my back. Damn it! I forget. Only a supplier. Okay. So no couriers. I could use a coin though, because you never know. Let's see.
Brum brum. Looking good today.
Yeah. It's a classic, right? No coin here. Wondering if this already works again. No, it doesn't. Crying out loud, man. I hope the thing is fixed by tonight, otherwise Mango's gonna have a problem with the random suit picker. There we go. Let's go.
Bon voyage, 47.
Accident kills too. Hmm? Seeker is OP. It's basically 2 free kills. Yeah, maybe. Sometimes they go to puke in a very public place, so then yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Like on Mendoza, they go puke over the railing where everybody's around.
We finally tracked down the Syndicate leader's whereabouts. However, we do not know the exact identity of the target, so you'll have to do some recon. However, they're on high alert, so you need to be careful. As to why they are here, well, we know this. They are attending a secret meeting. As for the description, we know that they have red hair. They are wearing a hat. They are wearing a necklace and earrings. As to habits and vices, your target has a sweet tooth, and they see themselves as a foodie. I hope these tells can be used to your
Why would I
advantage.
put the banana in the briefcase? Okay. Get your outfit. I know one of these... there's a random NPC in Freelancer that just goes down here. So, and since I don't want to have a panic on my hands, I'm just gonna hide them over here. See, there's an assassin nearby, so maybe... it could be upstairs, but yeah. Just want to get rid of this box or bodies. Don't want to cause a panic just yet. And of course it's locked and I don't have a lockpick. Okay. They'll come out. Oh, the
Do not turn on the AC. D. It might be a little warm in. What was that?
Got some strange noises here. Looking into it. Over.
Okay, so that's that. Let's see. Oh, there's a box over here. He has a key card, right? Oh, that's the problem. I'm in a security outfit, so he's enforcing against me because it's alerted. Oh, brother. The cleaner. Okay, so what is our thing? Earrings, necklace, hat, red hair. Is he a redhead? Man, he's in a hurry, isn't he?
Hey, we gotta keep this.
Oh my god, everybody's here.
Third party.
Hey, Mr. Bodyguard. This guy is unbelievable. Is he a friend of yours? Didn't think so. Hey, idiot!
Okay, I'm done. Security will deal with you.
Well, he's a redhead. But he doesn't have a hat.
Full in that costume.
Fuck, here we go again.
Give him all you got.
Your target is trying to get away. Move.
Wrong one. Fuck me.
Get him in your... 47, your target is slipping away. The leader has managed to escape.
Fuck me, man.
47. You should get back to the safe house. I'll contact you later.
Fuck. This is why I hate freelancer, man.
How unfortunate.
There was no place for me to go.
That you ran out of luck. Back to the drawing board, 47.
I have not managed to complete the fucking campaign in like 10 runs by now. It's so annoying.
I'm sorry to say, but failing your campaign has resulted in the Syndicate disappearing off the grid. But we know that nothing is predictable in this line of work. I'm sure you'll get back on the scene.
Ah, fuck me.
When you're ready for your next assignment.
I lost everything. I lost half my money. Lost did I lose the didn't lose the things because I didn't die, right? No, my sniper is still there. My pistol is still there, so I just lost half my money and the shit was in my boxes. Okay. Let's start again. No. Fuck hardcore mode. Marrakesh, Paris, Sapienza, Ambrose, Bangkok, Hokkaido, Colorado, Marrakesh, whatever. Colorado, let's get that one out of the way first. Perfect shooter, no combat. Silent assassin, I'm gonna fail that and gonna fail it anyway. Poison target with a sedative. I don't
Safe journey, 47.
Fucking hell. Still doesn't work. God damn it. Don't see any reports. Just looking into something, guys. Give me a second. Let's see if it's just my network or... Oh, it's down. Okay, whatever.
Welcome to Colorado. We have been informed that the Syndicate is currently in operation here. Find the target and eliminate. Be careful, 47. And most of all, good luck.
Drop the body right now. Open. Don't move. Do not even flinch. Put your hand, take it.
Just find this shooter, lock him.
Come on! We're not gonna lose this guy! Back to the focus. Got eyes on target.
God damn it.
Down, we gotta get in cover! Loud and clear, sir. It's good. Line of sight on signal. Over here.
Fuck off. Okay, I'm done for today. Fuck this, man. My website is down. My thing is not going. I'm just gonna call it a day. Let's see. Who is live right now? I hate this. Nobody's playing Hitman. Okay, so then I'm just gonna call it a day. Thank you guys for being here. I will be back on Friday. I will be streaming the 007 game, new 007 game, and yeah, hope to see you then. Have a great day, have a great week, and I will catch you guys later. Bye now.